Nobody expected it. Not the crowd, not the defenders, not even David Letterman. But what Caitlin Clark did inside a quiet Iowa gym has now become the stuff of legend.
Caitlin Clark got asked about this by David Letterman.
We have a practice team that's just all guys. I think we were down 15. So we make a couple threes. We cut it to 10, maybe, I don't even know.
Now when you say we make a couple of threes, was it you or was everybody making threes?
It was me, but the points went to the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I think I had 22 points in 2 minutes was the moral of the story.
I'm sorry.
Down by 15 points against a squad of college men, she unleashed a scoring rampage so wild, so jaw-dropping, that it stunned everyone who saw it.
We had a high school girls basketball team there that day. So we had a little audience and we were up in our practice gym and they were jumping out of their chairs going crazy. Usually I never react when something like I hit a big shot or I do, but never in a shocked way. After my 5th 3 in a row in a minute, I was oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. I was running around and we ended up winning and our boy practice players didn't hear the end of it. They still don't. I still love to bring it up to them. We talk a lot of crap, so.
Left Letterman speechless when he finally heard the story. In just 2 minutes, Clark dropped 22 points, pulling up from deep, draining logo threes.
She is highly likable. I think that lends itself to her popularity is she comes across as somebody that's really just respectful, likable. There's other players out there that just don't come across that way.
And rewriting the rules of the game in real time. And here's the thing. It wasn't televised. It wasn't hyped.
Number 1 in your heart, Caitlin Elizabeth Clark.
It was raw, real, greatness in motion.
I think the key is this squad was down by 15 to these guys, and they came back and won it.
Today, we're breaking down exactly how this moment became proof that Caitlin Clark isn't just elite. She's the GOAT.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball. Period.
It wasn't a packed arena. There were no cameras, no screaming thousands, no ESPN highlight crews waiting on the sidelines. Just a practice gym in Iowa, a scoreboard, and Caitlin Clark, about to do something so absurd that people would be talking about it years later.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
The setup was simple. A routine scrimmage between the Iowa women's basketball team and a squad of male practice players. Regular college guys, athletic enough to give the girls tough competition, but certainly not pro-level talent.
Yes, I understand this is a men's practice squad. I get that. I'm sorry, I don't know a world where I'm going to exactly poo-poo 22 points in 2 minutes.
Still, they were physical. They were fast. They were up by 15, and time was running out.
Caitlin Clark's team was down by 15 when she began knocking down three-pointers.
But then, something flipped. Caitlin caught fire. Not your typical hot streak. This was otherworldly. She pulled up from deep. Splash. Then from even deeper. Logo range. Bang. Before the guys could regroup, she hit another, and another, and another. She racked up 22 points in 2 minutes in front of a stunned high school girls team sitting in the bleachers who were now jumping out of their chairs like they were courtside at the finals.
Caitlin Clark's already considerable legend continues to grow. Thanks to David Letterman and Netflix, the WNBA star appeared on the latest episode of Letterman's program, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
Even Caitlin couldn't believe it. Normally stone-faced after big shots, she started running around the gym, laughing, totally stunned by her own performance. And when it was all over, the scoreboard told the story. Comeback complete.
The practice session has taken on near mythological proportions in the 5 years since it was played in Iowa City. ESPN's Wright Thompson wrote about it for a March 2024 profile of Clark, talking to teammates, coaches, and student managers who witnessed the performance.
The men's team lost. Caitlin Clark had done what even the wildest basketball fantasies couldn't imagine. She torched a team of male defenders under pressure with no room for error. This wasn't some fluke. It wasn't an off-day scrimmage. It was the moment greatness showed up unannounced. And here's what made it even crazier. This game wasn't meant to be remembered. There were no big announcements or stat trackers, but everyone in that gym knew they'd just seen something historic. This was where the legend of Caitlin Clark exploded.
Number 1 in your heart, Caitlin Elizabeth Clark.
Because when you score 22 points in 2 minutes against anyone, let alone a men's squad, that's not just basketball skill. That's basketball magic.
Clark went on to become the all-time leading scorer in college basketball history, men's and women's, with 3,951 points. Of course, she was the WNBA Rookie of the Year and scored over 19 points as a rookie.
For a long time, this story existed like a whispered myth, a legendary tale shared among Iowa teammates, coaches, and die-hard fans. There was no official footage floating around, no ESPN Top 10 moment. It wasn't clipped, edited, and blasted across social media when it happened. That gym in Iowa had no bright lights, no fancy commentators, just hardwood, determination, and one of the greatest shooting sequences the sport has ever seen. The kind of moment that feels too wild to be real unless you were there. But greatness has a way of refusing to stay hidden. Years later, the story clawed its way back into the spotlight in the most unexpected way. David Letterman. That's right. The comedy icon, now host of Netflix's My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, sat across from Caitlin Clark and brought it up, almost casually. What followed, though, was anything but casual. As Caitlin recounted what happened that day, the 15-point deficit, the deep threes, the 22 points in 2 minutes. Letterman's face told the story. He was floored, not just entertained, stunned. He leaned in like a fan, not a host. Like the rest of us, he couldn't wrap his head around it. That interview changed everything. Suddenly people were asking, wait, what? This really happened? Sports fans, journalists, and even skeptics flooded online forums and social media to talk about it. Some called it a hoax, others said it was exaggerated. But then it happened. The footage surfaced. Clips of the scrimmage started circulating, confirming everything Caitlin said and more. ESPN journalist Wright Thompson even profiled the moment in a detailed March 2024 piece, interviewing student managers, teammates, and coaches who were there. Everyone backed it up. Every shot, every reaction, every stunned face.
He was asked about Caitlin Clark.
Coach Krzyzewski, listen to what he said.
Yeah, well, she's terrific. And it'd be easy to build something on her because she's the best thing she does is pass. She's a magical passer and she has a great feel for the game. So, I mean, what her coach did, I would have done exactly what she did. Make sure she handles the ball a lot and she'll make everybody better. And what I was amazed with at how she's handled all the defenses. And then when she got into the WNBA, some of the negativity that was out there or jealousies. And I think she's just been remarkable. She's a really good basketball player. Yeah.
And yet, the haters still showed up, because they always do. It was just practice. Those guys weren't real athletes. Doesn't count. It wasn't a real game. But here's the truth they don't want to admit. Practice doesn't make the shots easier. The rim doesn't get wider. The three-point line doesn't move in. And the defenders, they weren't letting her shoot, they were trying to win. These guys were diving, closing out, getting physical. And still, Caitlin Clark torched them, shot after shot, deep range, under pressure, with the game on the line. And she did it all with swagger and control, never flinching, never forcing. That's what Letterman and the rest of the world suddenly saw. This wasn't just a great basketball player. This was a generational talent revealing herself, not on the main stage, but in a dusty gym with no script. And the timing couldn't have been better. By the time this story went viral, Caitlin was already tearing it up in the NCAA and would soon rewrite history as the all-time leading scorer in college basketball, men or women. So when the world rewatched that clip, it wasn't just cool, it was confirmation. Confirmation that everything people were saying about her wasn't hype. It was truth. That scrimmage became symbolic of something bigger, because it wasn't just about making buckets. It was about composure, leadership, killer instinct. And when someone like David Letterman, who's interviewed the most iconic names in the world, leans back and says, You did what now? You know the world is paying attention. So yeah, maybe it took a while for the world to catch up, but when they did, they didn't just applaud, they crowned her. And not because of a single viral moment, but because that moment revealed what had always been true. Caitlin Clark isn't just in the conversation. She is the conversation. It's one thing to have a breakout moment. It's another to become the moment, and then keep rewriting what's possible every single time you step on the floor. That's what separates hype from legacy. And that's exactly what Caitlin Clark is doing. Her 22-point outburst against a men's practice squad wasn't some viral fluke. It was foreshadowing. It was a raw, unfiltered glimpse of what was coming. Because when you look at her career since that day, it's clear Caitlin Clark is not just great, she's generational. Let's start with the obvious. She is now the all-time leading scorer in college basketball history. Not just for women, not just for Iowa. We're talking men and women, all divisions, all eras, 3,951 points. That number doesn't just sit in a record book, it lives in the soul of the game. It screams consistency, longevity, dominance. And the wildest part? She wasn't padding stats. She was carrying a team, breaking records, and lighting up scoreboards against elite competition. That moment in practice? The 22 points in 2 minutes? It wasn't even under the lights. It wasn't about fame. It was about fire. Because here's the thing about the greats. They don't need a crowd to ignite. Clark didn't need a Final Four or a national TV broadcast to go nuclear. She just needed a basketball, a defender in her face, and a reason. And when the scoreboard said her team was down by 15, that was all the reason she needed. What she did that day is something most NBA players couldn't replicate. Let that sink in. 7 threes in 2 minutes. From deep. Under pressure. Against men. And it wasn't some charity defense. They were playing physical. Chasing her around the arc, trying to shut her down. It didn't matter. She shot through them. Past them. Over them. That wasn't just shooting, that was surgical. It was Steph Curry-level rhythm with Kobe Bryant-level killer instinct. And since then, she's only gotten better. As a rookie in the WNBA, she's already doing the unthinkable, pulling up from the logo like it's routine, creating shots off the dribble with defenders glued to her, dropping dimes with insane court vision. Coaches and analysts can't stop talking about her passing ability, which is ironically her most underrated weapon. According to coach Mike Krzyzewski, one of the most respected minds in basketball, the best thing she does is pass. She's a magical passer. That's coming from a man who coached NBA legends and Olympic gold medalists. And he's calling Caitlin Clark magical. She's not just dominating with skill, she's doing it with poise, with class, with fire in her chest and a smile on her face. And people notice. Teammates love playing with her, coaches trust her, and fans, they adore her. But not in a casual way, in a ride-or-die way. Caitlin Clark's fan base has become its own phenomenon. They follow her everywhere. They show up to away games like it's a home crowd. She's not just growing women's basketball, she's redefining its cultural power. Go look at what people say after meeting her. Humble, welcoming, grounded, a superstar who still has time to take selfies with kids and chat with arena staff. She's Steph Curry's shot with Tom Brady's focus and Serena Williams' presence. You feel her greatness before she even steps onto the court. She's built different, not just physically, not just technically, but mentally, and that's what sets the GOATs apart. They don't just win games, they shift the energy in every building they walk into, and let's not pretend like it's all been easy. Since stepping into the spotlight, Caitlin Clark has faced criticism, jealousy, backlash, and scrutiny, especially as she's transitioned into the WNBA. But she never snaps back. She never needs to clap back at haters because her game does the talking. She handles herself with grace and confidence, answering every doubter not with words, but with buzzer beaters, 30-foot bombs, and double-digit assists. You don't do what she's done unless you've mastered your craft. We're talking thousands of hours in the gym, reps when no one's watching, Shooting drills with pressure, conditioning with no spotlight. Caitlin Clark isn't the GOAT because of one moment. She's the GOAT because every day, every shot, every game is built on the foundation of a lifetime of obsession with being great. And this is only the beginning.
I think that experiencing it, I love Caitlin Clark fans, but Caitlin Clark fans is different. They like C-Square, shout out to the gang, like different. They are very passionate people and like they gonna ride or die. Like
listen, Caitlin Clark is a god to her friends. She does no wrong. Do not play. Do not play with her fans.
Let's just say C-Square, I'm happy I'm on the right end of it.
We on the right end of the stick, baby, because
I hate to be.
Listen,
because
they love us right now. But if we go right and left, it's over for us.
Caitlin Clark fans, I love you back. I promise. Please stop.
Yeah.
Like her fan, but like the one thing I would say about Caitlin Clark fans that I can't appreciate, they'll go anywhere she go.
Oh, they gonna travel. She gonna travel.
And
right there. Right there
I just
with
think
her.
like it's super dope though because it's like they would literally go anywhere she go, and so she's built that kind of platform. And like, damn, that's lit.
The association, they gave us a gym that I paid for, not entirely, but they took money out of my check and I paid for it.
You better get the fucking full usage of that.
Man, I got hot tub, cold tub, weight room, full court basketball. Ron, I walk in today, I'm on one side working out, Caitlin Clark on the other side.
Really?
I look at myself, there you go, two fucking legends, Patty.
Did you say what's up?
You know I say what's up, but I'm not the type to say what's up to interrupt your workout because I don't like people to interrupt mine. She can shoot the shit out of it.
And the WNBA assist leader this past year.
She can shoot the shit out the ball.
She's a great shooter.
And she's one of those workout people, you know, got to think, anytime I hit the court, I got to hit that bike. I'm older now, so I got to get on that bike and stroll for a couple 5, 6, 7 minutes. So while I'm strolling through the park, I'm looking at her shoot it. And she's one of those shooters where if you know as a gym rat, you guys know, like, damn, bro, why you throw that pass bad? Give me the ball in my chest. I'm like, oh, she's a gangster also.
She's lighting people up.
Throw me the ball the way I want it.
What drill was it? What drill was she running?
I don't know. She was doing a 2-in-a-row corner wing. And if you miss, you have to go back to the next spot. And if you missed again, you have to go back to the starting spot. She had a nice drill. I'm literally still in it.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right. So she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. Just so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
That 22-point explosion, that was just the trailer. Now we're watching the full movie, and spoiler alert, it ends in greatness. Championships will come. MVPs will come. The record she's already broken will soon feel like warm-ups for what's next. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just building a career, she's building a legacy. And if you're still doubting, go back to that gym in Iowa. Watch the shots fall. Watch the high school girls in the bleachers lose their minds. Watch her grin after the 5th straight three-pointer like even she can't believe what's happening. That wasn't a glitch in the system. That was a message. This is who I am, and I'm just getting started. Caitlin Clark isn't just one of the greatest women to ever play the game. She might be one of the greatest, period. What Caitlin Clark did in that Iowa gym wasn't just a highlight, it was a warning shot, a glimpse into the future of basketball. She dropped 22 points in 2 minutes against a team of men and left even David Letterman speechless. But the real story isn't about a single scrimmage. It's about what it represents. Unshakable confidence, relentless skill, a fire that doesn't wait for the lights to turn on. Caitlin Clark doesn't just belong in the conversation, she is the conversation. And if that was her warm-up, then buckle up, because this journey is only getting started. So if you believe, like we do, that Caitlin Clark isn't just great, but the greatest, drop it in the comments. Caitlin GOAT. Let's give this legend her flowers while she's still writing history. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Because this is just the beginning of the Caitlin Clark era. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.